All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to my power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Waha, Rikakwadash. And honors be to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and the elect elders that's pushing this word with our truth and sincerity. All right, the year 2026, a step closer to the kingdom of heaven. And we pray and hope that the Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, bring all these prophets to pass in the time that we're living in. All right, especially in these times. All right, especially in these times. And as you brothers and you sisters see the title of this lesson, which reads a few words on yesterday's camp. All right, highly spiritual, man. You know, it was a beautiful camp yesterday through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah, highly spiritual camp. You know, a lot of things was going on, speaking on the topic was, major trending here in Babylon the Great, which is World War III, all right, Trump speaking on, drafts, America being, you Americans being drafted, okay, in this upcoming war. And a highly spiritual, all right, because you had some, some Edomites, appear to be Edomites, from the age of, looking like some some young Edomites, man, probably like 18, you know. And I happened to look across the street, right, from the altar, and you had some army soldiers out there, and they was training some young Edomites, and I panned the camera, I was letting brothers and sisters see, what was going on. All right, it was highly spiritual because I was going into, World War III. All right, the time that we're living in, hey, we know that a major draft will be implemented here in Babylon the Great. All right, and just highly spiritual. Hey, the Lord is showing us signs, man. Hey, this thing is coming to an end, right? And shalom to my brother Yawanathan, my brother Angel Padilla, and shalom to the brother Not Left Behind. No, Not Left Behind 144. How about Shema Shabarakatah and Barakathum to in your household? That's the spirit that the Lord got in the air, man. Right? Everybody gearing up for war, and like I said, highly spiritual. I never seen, and them, was training. I never seen that. That was my first time seeing it, across from the altar at that, man. So it was all through the spirit, man. It was all through the spirit of Yahweh Shemal Shah, because we see what's going to transpire here in Babylon the Great, hey, things are getting heated. Okay, this war, hey, it's doing nothing but heating up. Okay, and it's gonna get worse for you Americans, you Babylonians, man. Things, transpire. Inflation is gonna take place in a major way. And we're gonna see total chaos in the streets of America, Babylon. And on one hand, you're gonna have these Americans getting shipped off, all right, to the Middle East, right? Because they got an age limit right now from 18 to what, 30 something, But like I said, yesterday's camp, and all that's gonna be out the window, okay? It's not gonna be an age limit. Well, it's gonna be from 18 to, on up. You see, because that's the time we in, where anybody can get drafted at any time. And I seen it from my own eyes yesterday. I was seeing them gearing up. Them Edomites was hopping out of the car, falling right in formation. Hey, then it was freezing outside yesterday, man. And if you check the camp out, you see I had, the covering over my face. It was freezing. Right, but you had them Edomites out there with no jacket, standing in formation. You had the army, the army guys, the recruits that it looked like to be, hey, gearing them up, man, gearing them up for the battle, because they win that time. Yep, this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, and that's what the Lord is doing. That's what you see, America. All right, hey, they're gearing up for war. They're preparing for war, man. Okay, you U.S. citizens, hey, you're gonna get drafted to the Middle East. You're gonna see more of these trainings. All right, you Americans conducting in these military trainings on the soils of America. And you're gonna see that different recruiting offices, you know, all over, man. And I witnessed it yesterday for the first time. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. That's right. Hey, the Lord is gathering, this battle, the host of battle, man. The Lord is the one that's mustering this thing and gearing these nations up, all right, for World War III, the war Armageddon, all right, Armageddon one, and in Hebrew, which is what, mountain of troops. And we seeing that happen. We seeing that happen in real time, man. And it's only going to increase. Like I said yesterday, man, highly spiritual camp, you know. And that blew my mind, you know. But it was exciting. It was exciting to see because that's the time that we living in. And there's no denying it. There's no denying it that these nations are gearing up for World War III. All right. And like I said, it would appear to be some young Edomites, man. Some young Edomites, probably fresh out of high school, right? You know, and it was like at least 20 of them, man. Right across the street from the altar, you had about 4 or 5 Army recruits out there in front of a church. You know, I believe they was running laps, you know, doing exercises, you know, and gearing up for that time. And we're gonna see that, man. We're gonna see that. Hey, that's just showing you the signs that the Lord, showing upon the earth in the time that we're living in. You know, hey, clearly in the time of war, Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, tell you that time for every purpose under heaven, a time of hate, right? Time of love, a time of war. And we're clearly in a time of war where all these nations are beating their plowshares into pruning hooks and their swords into spears. Are we seeing that? Are we seeing that America, hey, what? They're putting all their agriculture, their money, putting all their money from their agriculture into this war. Because they're losing millions and millions of dollars each and every day. Billions of dollars. Let me rephrase that. Billions of dollars. You know? And they're putting everything towards that war. And that's why Trump, he's calling on his allies to, help him out. Because America losing billions of dollars, man. Trump said $1 billion a day and fighting this war with Iran. And you see, and no one want to take part in, this devil, starting this war. Even his own allies, they're not coming to his aid, So what is going to fall back? Who is going to hurt the most? It's going to hurt you Americans, It's going to hurt you Americans. That's why you're going to see inflation. You see gas prices are rising. And now you're going to start seeing food prices rising. Because America is insolvent, and that's a fine way of saying America's broke. They putting all, it takes money to go to war. And who is going who is going to reflect back onto it like it always does? When Trump put tariffs on country, who will always affect? You Americans, And ultimately, it's going to affect you Israelites, you so-called Black, Latino, Native Americans, man. And we're in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're in the time of chaos. We're in the time of all that, man. About to hit the forefront. Yep, this is Exodus 15 and verse 3. And the Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name. That's right. And the Lord, he's stirring up war. He's stirring up war, man. He's mustering the battle. He's bringing everything to light. You see, so these are the times that we're currently living in 2026, man. And it's only going to increase. It's only going to increase. And the Lord's going to continue to show signs following as we go out and preach this word according to Mark 16 and verse 20. The Lord's going to show signs following, man. And that was a great example yesterday. Beautiful count. All praise to you, how about Shemal Shah. We're going to be saying things and the Lord just going to manifest it right then and there. Speaking of World War III, then you look to the left across from the altar, you got, some military recruits, out there training, man. And then that's how the spirit worked, man. It was beautiful. Brothers was on the comment board, they was rejoicing, because that was beautiful. And that's showing, and that's signs to, boost our spirit and to show what time we in. And this thing's coming to an end. That third war is coming quickly. All right. So, due to battery use, I don't have that much battery in my closeout. Hey, I don't rock the Zah. Let you brothers and you sisters and beautiful spirits, man. Hey, we almost out of here. One step closer to the kingdom of heaven. All right, we pray and hope that the Most High Yahweh Shai bring all these prophets to pass in the time that we're living in. All right, especially in these times. All right, especially in these times. Hey, so with that, Akin Wakwaf, I pray that this lesson was not only edifying but comforting and exhorting to my brothers, as well as my few sisters. I listen and learning. Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise and glory to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Waha, Rikakwadash. Till next time, Shalom, and a Bible ball. Shalom, shalom. Hey, on to the next. Shalom.